What are we here for today? It's the commercial meeting. It's called the commercial meeting, but there's all different functions here. The bottom line is we're here to get better at our jobs. So it's great. It's great to see everybody. It's great to have a good time, and we're going to have some fun. But really, the whole crux of this meeting is to get better at what we do. And we get better at what we do. We've got some topics that I think throughout the agenda that are going to really resonate and really lock into some of the concepts that we've been delivering through some of the trainings that we've done. So we're here to get better. A couple of ground rules. We set up in classroom style, but no computers. No phones. We've got a busy agenda. We want you to focus on the topics that we want to do. So we've got a couple of breaks throughout the day. The morning session that Chad's going to talk about in a few minutes, you guys will understand a little bit more. But we've got breaks. Lunch is 11:30 to 12:30. You've got the full hour. So if there's something you need to hit, something you get back to, you've got that full hour if you need to get back to a customer. And then we've got another, it's only a 15-minute break at 3:30. So those will be your 2 slots if you've got something you've got to take care of. If it's an absolute emergency, go ahead and excuse yourself from the room. But other than that, let's keep the focus up here. Let's see.
The program that they have, I'm going to actually sit through. I normally don't, but I've heard this one was really exciting, so I'll actually participate all day today. And then tomorrow, as I said, transition, think of the us. But be thinking through the next couple of days what you're going to do, right? What are you going to do with this information? Each one of you has a business problem that involves a customer, whether it's the customer directly or supporting the customer, supporting the business, supporting financial, which all comes back to the same place, which is you can't do any of that without a customer, okay? So think about what you're going to do with the information. It's a lot of time invested that you guys are investing. It's a lot of money that Alyssa spends on my behalf. So we just want to make sure that that you have some fun, but you actually learn something. So, all right, have a good time.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, in the theme of TUFA, today is focused on the T, and so it's all going to be about the customer. And the key thing today in terms of the meeting is we're going to have fun, we're going to learn, and it's to be purposeful. It's to not just understand, or not just to repeat and regurgitate what the customer's telling you, but it's to dig deeper. It's to understand what the customer's true needs are. You're going to get different stories, as Art said, from different people in the customer, based on their position, their roles, their objectives. So it's about looking at what the company requires and trying to meet that need. So today, we've got a fun day planned with 2 breakout sessions, and the goal is to really focus on listening. It's to focus on asking questions to dig deeper. It's about using emotion and empathy. It's about just trying to understand, and that's how this is going to tie into the customer and them today. So there's 2 breakout sessions. We've hired a group of actors, and this is something that was endorsed by the Liquid team. And before everyone freaks out, don't worry, it's all about interpretive dance today. So it's going to be a great time. Seriously though, it's going to be fun and learning and impactful. Liquid's team did this, they endorsed it, and so we're looking forward to having a good day, a fun day where we can all learn. And you'll see on the back of your name tags that there's groups, so today we'll be breaking apart into I think 5 different groups. And to kick this off, I'm going to introduce the leader of this team, and then he's going to introduce the whole team. So we've got a gentleman by the name of Robert Wu, who's with us today. And Robert is an experienced actor, writer, producer for more than 20 years. And he started at First Take in the late 1990s. So I have a question. Has anyone seen the movie Titanic? Yes. How about Deadpool? Yeah. Well, Robert was not in those movies. However, Robert has been in a lot of movies and TV shows that you have heard of. So he's had appearances in, one of my favorites actually was the movie Ted, where there's a scene with Ming, and so he was Ming. He's made appearances on The Big Bang Theory, so he had a role on that movie, on that TV show. He's been in Family Guy, Criminal Minds, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Magnum P.I., Survivor Remorse, All Rise, and numerous other TV shows as well. So without further ado, Robert.
Sir. So much. I'm not used to one of these. Usually you just have to use your voice to do this, so I might be talking like this, I might be talking like this, but who here has ever wanted to be an actor? All right, we got a few. Awesome. Gonna make your childhood dreams come true today. Awesome. All right, well, hey, we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna work on some basics of acting. Basics, I said, right? Nobody's gonna win an Oscar after today. But yeah, I'm excited to jump in. I'm gonna introduce my team now. First of all, we've got Heather Young. She's an actor, a writer, producer. She's star of the award-winning TV show Misrepresent, co-star on Nash Bridges, played the detective Betty Sue on the award-winning TV series Gold Mountain, won Best Actress for a dramatic film about Maggie. She was the lead in Half of Me and a supporting role in 9 Lives, and she's also the co-founder of the organization So She Slays, empowering women, has a following of over 700,000, and she hosts 2 podcasts. Heather Young. All right. Allison Ewing. She's an actor and a producer with a growing list of credits, including the starring roles in the award-winning film Last Chance Charlene, playing the title role of Charlene, and also memorizing Allison, playing the title role of Allison. She also played Mrs. Stubbins in HBO's A Christmas Mystery, plus many supporting roles in the films Moeller, The Girl in Golden Gate Park, Disrupted, E14, and many more. Allison Ewing. And we have E. Amblis de Colosio. Just call him E. Actor and stand-up comic, also known as Mexi King, from the recurring has had recurring roles in Promised Land, and also guest starred on hit shows like FBI, SWAT, NCIS, and Criminal Minds. Some of his films over the years, he's had major roles in Blind Spotting, Inhale, Still Waiting, and also the upcoming film Thirsty with Thora Birch and Kira Sedgwick. Give it up for E. I'm not gonna say the rest. And last but not least, Jonathan Lim, an actor as well. He's had many films, including The False Truth, Imaginary Friend, Seasons, Money for Angels, Boogle, One Man, One Voice, Denying Death, and also the upcoming feature film Thirsty, where he will play District Attorney Cruz. Give it up for Jonathan Lim. All right, guys. So now that I've introduced my team, I'd love for all of us to get up and get warmed up, right? Because the whole instrument comes into play today. That's your voice and your body. So E here is going to warm us up and shake us down, yeah?
All right, good job. Everybody think we're happy to be here. Right, we're gonna start something real fun. Is Mike give a mic stand, please. All right, so everybody put your hands out like this. Put your hands out like this. We're going like that. All right, twist your hands in, thumbs down, hands over like this. All right, cross over. Everybody good? All right, here we go. Ready now? Twist them around, thumbs right back up. Who got it? Who got it? How people got it? How many cheated? How many you cheated? All right, good job. All right, now we're gonna do this is a great theater warm up. It's like when you first start theater, when you're like 10 years old. This is like the warm up we do when we do theater. All right, so we're just gonna do that with you guys. We're gonna put one hand up like this. Right? And I'm gonna shake it, I'm gonna count down, all right? And then we have to move around, so I'm gonna do the top with the mic. But here we go, ready? We're gonna go 10 times, and then the next hand. So go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and we're going to 10. Then we switch hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go down 10, and 10, 9, 8, and then we're gonna feet. 10, 9, 8, 7, yeah. And it's gonna be 10, 9, 7, up. But we're gonna do a lot quicker than that, okay? So you guys ready? Here we go. Hand up, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 7, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 9, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 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 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think that's enough, don't you think? We'd like you guys to get your body moving and shake it and get going, all right? You ready, my man?
Yes, sir. He just quit because he ran out of breath. All right. So, hey, along with playing and having fun, we're going to be talking about also some lessons that come from acting that you can apply to your everyday work life here at AMCOR. A lot of the stuff that the main speaker here this morning was talking about was spot on to what we teach here at First Day. Being fully present, right? Active, right? Active listening and responding. So like also developing empathy, right? Stephen Covey said in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, to seek first to understand before being understood. So we want to step into another's shoes. We want to step into our coworker's shoes. We want to step into that potential client's shoes or the new client's shoes, right? Or the pre-existing client's shoes, right? Before rushing to exercise our own agenda, right? So we want to take the time to find out what the person's needs are across from the table from you, right? Whether that be a coworker or a client. We want to take the time to make discoveries about them and about yourself. So we're going to do an exercise right now that will incorporate these 2 principles. This is called the cold reading exercise, okay? So listen. Oh yeah, sorry, you guys can all sit. You guys all get ready to do boot camp here. He's not done, he wants to do the whole thing. He wants to do 6. All right, great. So cold reading exercise. So typically, salespeople, managers, they want to rush to have their own say. They want to focus on getting their point across. But the result is not being present for one another, right? So this exercise teaches us to respond authentically and bring our heart to it. So I'm going to give two of our team members here a brand new scene. They've never seen it, right? And they're just going to take the time to look at each other, to hear each other, and to respond in kind. All right? So the trick is, and you guys got to pay attention because you're going to be doing this today. So the other person has to take in what the other person's giving them, right? And you gotta, I love what he said here. You have to listen and stop thinking until you're done listening. That was brilliant, by the way. Because that is exactly true. So even though you want to speak immediately, you're gonna have to hold your tongue and just take in what the other person's giving you, right? And then when it's your turn to talk, I don't want you to let go of whatever you were feeling in that moment. So whatever you got from the other person when their words landed on you, I want you to reply with that emotion or that intent, right? So let's say someone ran their car into your house, right? But your line is, I'm happy to see you. So you don't say, hey, I'm happy to see you, right? You're like, I'm happy to see you, you know? So you have to keep your intent going, all right? So let's bring up Jonathan and Allison. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna give you a scene. Allison, you will play woman. And Jonathan, you will play Glenn. And then I'm actually throwing you in, Heather. You will play another woman, and you just have one line, which is "I'm okay." All right. So when Jonathan goes to you, that's your only line. All right, so let's watch this exercise. Again, it should feel unnaturally slow. Nobody's trying to win an Oscar here, okay? The purpose is not to act out a great scene. The purpose is to take your time and really take in what your partner is giving you, all right? So whenever you're ready, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go.
No, really.
Well, can you hear me in the back? Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, confession time. This is the first date I've been on since my divorce.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm loving the single life.
No, thank you.
Not scared at all.
Sorry. I'm back. Sorry.
I'm loving the single life. Not scared at all that I'm almost 40 and completely alone now.
Well, that's good.
So I think we should see each other again. What do you think?
We haven't even ordered the appetizers yet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Don't want to rush things. The last thing I want to do, even though you can't deny, we have a connection. Do you like kids? I love kids. What do you think about the name Justin?
Glenn, I think you're a really nice guy.
Okay, kiss of death. I'm anything but, trust me.
Oh.
This is one pony you can't tame it. I have a treatment for you. Maybe go up the coast. There's this little B&B. I have a cute one.
Oh, well, you know, I'm actually supposed to meet some friends soon.
Oh, fun, I'd love to meet them.
Oh.
I don't have a lot of friends because most of them were sort of kindreds. Yeah, she got them all. Sure, Susie, Deborah, my cousin Nell.
I'm leaving now.
Oh, you're off. Okay, let's talk soon. I may get snatched up. Now you have my number and my email. Did I give you my beamer?
Goodbye, Glenn.
Bye. See ya. Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
You know what? I should stop you right here. I'm kind of seeing something.
All right, let's give it up. Thank you. All right, give it up. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our last and probably most important principle, which is to connect with your heart and your emotions to more effectively move people, right? So not just being fully present, but being fully you. So openly expressing and displaying the truth of who you are and getting to know the truth of who they are, right? These are like some of the soft skills that are getting lost now in this new world of AI, right? The people skills, right? This is what we want to work on, right? I love what AMCOR said in January when we went to the other conference. They said, be intentional in emotion when communicating, right? We want to go deeper, to get to the core, to get to the truth of who you are and who they are, right? So we got a perfect exercise here that will do that, and Heather will introduce that, our bridging exercise.
Hi everyone. Okay, so like Rob was saying, one of the biggest things that we can do is learn how to bring ourselves to these scenes, but also to the people that you speak to, your customers, right? Empathy, listening, being able to be vulnerable, right? Which is a huge word in today's society since we're not necessarily built to really express that type of vulnerability, right? So in bridging, you guys are all gonna do this too, so pay attention. It's gonna be a fun exercise, it's gonna be a quick exercise, but the value is huge. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up two of my fellow team members, E and Allison, and we're gonna do a bridging exercise, which is I'm gonna give them a phrase or a word or something like that, and you're gonna see how one phrase can be taken in two different ways, okay? So, the phrase is, but I just want to be alone. Okay, you ready? Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Give me 1 second. But I just want to be alone.
I just want to be alone.
Okay. So, same phrase, two different ways to take it. Now, who wants to be brave enough to say what they thought Allison was thinking when she said her phrase? You don't have to raise your hand, you can just shout it out. I don't want to put anybody on the spot.
Frustration.
Anybody else?
Disappointed.
One more?
Happy fault.
How was that? Did they hit it?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I don't know if you saw, I had other things going on, like I was hopeful and maybe excited, and then I stopped myself, and when I said, I want to be alone, because I was thinking about someone, like I wasn't ready to be in a relationship, but there was someone that interested me, and so I was allowing myself to feel that, and then my brain went, wait, this isn't what you want, you need to be alone. So that's what I bridged to.
Okay, awesome. All right, now E, who wants to be brave enough to shout out what we think his preference was?
It was directed at me, did you guys see that? I felt it.
Anybody? Skeptical. There we go. One more? Okay, do you want to tell your story?
Yeah, before that, I just want to make sure you know that this was the first time we heard the phrase, right? So we want to do that so you guys know that it's possible when we give you guys that later in the exercise. And when we talk about bridging, it's bridging something that happened with you or something that you can experience and you bring to it, right? So for me, kind of like what you guys said, skeptical, is that it was just bridging a time like where people are inviting you out, they want you to be there, and you're just trying to be like, it's cool, man. I know, it's not that I don't want to hang out with you. It's just I just want to be alone, you know, like it's not anger, it's not nothing. It's just trying to convey, right? So it's kind of, sometimes you just reduce it, and so that was me tapping into that, trying to be different. You said I was looking at her. Well, that's part of the first exercise, right? Staying connected with each other, because that's how you develop emotional connection, by being connected, and when it's not the eye contact, right? So that's where this exercise kind of took it.
Okay, so you guys are gonna be doing the same thing, and like what E said, it's super easy. You literally just watch them do it. Anybody can do it, but we just want you to be able to pull from your own experiences, right? Because nobody is you. You are enough. You have all of everything that makes you capable in doing whatever it is that you're trying to do. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Rob.
Awesome. Give it up. All right, guys. So you guys ready to give this a go? Yeah. So listen, guys, the two mottos that we live by here at First Take. One is embrace the sucking. Okay, you guys will all suck plenty at this today, all right? Nobody is going to be a master actor in one day, right? But it's okay, right? Acting's hard. Just have a sense of humor about it, and embrace the learning. I love another thing I took from the AMCOR conference in January. It said, to drive our culture forward, get comfortable failing as an organization. Grow in our failure, but fail falling forward, right? So we can't get to any greatness without failure. So just embrace it. It's one day, it's a couple of hours. Take some risks today. You might surprise yourself, right? So like I always tell my class, it's like roots of a plant, right? You have to stretch yourself to grow. You have to stretch yourself to try new things so that you can grow, right? The last part is you are enough. Heather mentioned that, right? Listen, we're all individuals. We're all born with a certain set of life. We all have a certain set of life experiences. We all have our unique personality traits. You're all unique and special and one of a kind. But unless the other person across the table can see that from you, it's just going to be lost, right? So our goal today is to get to know your fellow coworkers, get to know yourself, get to know how to interact with the people that you will be interacting with. And I'm going to leave you with this. This is a actor's PowerPoint presentation. All right, so this is the devil Meryl. Remember her face, she will haunt you all day. Acting is not about being someone different. It's finding the similarity in what is, this is a skill, in what is apparently different, then finding myself in there. So when you get these scripts today, when you get these lines to bridge today, find yourself in there and express that part, all right? All right, let's go get it. Oh, yeah, now we're going to go into breakout rooms. Does someone have the breakdown of that?
Yeah, I have that here.
Oh, yeah, well, we could take a little bathroom break or facility break, and then we'll meet back. Oh, yeah, okay. So our A's will go to Box Helder. Our B's will go to Live Oak.
Look
our
at your-
C's
Rob, just
will
a-
go to cedar, our D's will go to walnut, which is in here, and our E's will go to button bush. All right.
And your-
It's on your badges, everybody, your
Yep,
badges, tell you
badge.
what group you're on, so there you go.
Do we need to do that again?
It's start and end. If this says start and end, that's scene 1. If it's start and end, that's scene 2. The second start is the beginning of scene 2. Is it marked on there? FYI, okay, there you go, FYI. Whatever's marked FYI is just that. You're not doing that scene, but you need to read it so that you understand. Active listening, folks.
What kind of relationship do we think this was? Personal, professional? Could you, anybody get a read on that? Personal?
Unless it's me.
It was definitely condescending, well, I can't. And with some sass, condescending sass would be what I think.
Are you comfortable sharing what your bridge was?
Yeah, so it was personal,
You also, just a funny story for a wrap. I was on NCIS, right? And there was a guy who was pretty much just playing a dead body the whole time. But since they showed his face when they had to give him a credit. Long story short, that guy made more money on that show than I did. Because I had speaking part and every featured part, but they shot me in one day, but they needed him to be the dead body for like multiple days, so they paid him for the whole week. So I got paid for one day, he got paid for the whole week. I'm like, he was just a dead body.
But he was really good.
He was really good.
Building empathy for the other person, right? By being present and really taking in everything they're giving you. Love that. Awesome. Who else? Anyone else?
I found it even when you're on teams and you can't really read people as much when they're that big, but when you're face to face and in the same room with them, you can definitely, read more about them because you can see their body language and how they're reacting. versus
Yeah.
a little picture.
Yeah, and making sure you take it all in, right? Take the time to take it all in
You can
because
see them struggling in their chair, right?
exactly. Awesome. Yeah, so, in particular, my group, I just want to thank you guys so much for trusting me, trusting the process, and also for stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, that took some guts, some courage to show a little piece of who you are, show a little piece of your heart, and it opened the door for other people to do the same. So thank you so much. Thank you for, just coming along to play, and I hope you guys will really be able to adapt this into some real people skills for yourself, communication skills for yourself as you move forward in all your interactions and negotiations in your workplace. But thank you so much.
Yeah, my group, you guys were amazing. I already shared with you my feelings about how you made my job easy. There was nobody who was at all uninhibited. I mean, you all were uninhibited. Actually. There was nobody there who was resistant, so it made it go faster. What I loved watching about you guys as we went through the day was just not really the acting, but more how you guys related with each other. I can tell you guys are a real close-knit team, and the learning that happened with regards to some of the things that we were trying to reinforce with our exercises, you guys just immediately picked up on that. So it was really a privilege and an honor for me to be here. I'm not normally here doing this with this team, so yeah, it was real special, so thank you.
I already told this to you too, but I just really appreciated how vulnerable and open and willing to step out into play and to show yourselves. It was so fun in the different exercises and as we moved along, the different colors that I saw in your personalities. And there was so much laughter, and there was also a lot of poignancy to it. And hearing you guys pulling out and articulating the things that were speaking to you about even how you're tying it back to your customer engagements and into how you were seeing the connections was really, really special. And I just appreciate the authenticity and the fun. So thank you.
Cedar Room, my team. I didn't actually say this to you because I knew we were gonna do this and I wanted this to land fresh. Are we gonna have your attention? I wanna say when I first walked in, the energy of that room was quite nervous. It was, I don't know what we're doing. It was, let me just kind of make jokes and ha-ha-ness because that's what we do when we're nervous. The transition by the end of it, everybody was sitting like this in the beginning. By the end of it, we were relaxed. We had arms, we were laughing, people were crossing legs. That's what I'm going for, right? To do anything like this takes a lot of courage. It's not comfortable at all. So the fact that you jumped in and did it anyways, I mean, round of applause to you. It's not an easy thing to do to fight that fear and to really understand that what you're doing is stepping outside of your comfort zone. I loved the takeaways that my group had as far as ways to make life and work less transactional and more about truly communicating with people. That was the overall, of course, we went around the room and had little takeaways, but that was the overarching takeaway, and that tells me we did our job. We did our job, and I feel good about the seated room and what we were able to accomplish. So, bravo.
Who does that be in the center? Team E for excellent, E for excellent work for our team. Yeah, man, I mean, you guys all said it, there's not much more to say. I just want to give you guys all, one thing I did mention in our group was like, the mere fact that you guys just went up, that was vulnerable. So some of you are feeling like, I don't know if I was that vulnerable today. I don't know if I stretched today. The mere fact that you went up there and read that card, that you read that scene, that you were Wendy or John and you were not supposed to be a Wendy, like all those things. Those things were stretching. Those were things were the 1%, 1%. Our team got 2% better. So. but yeah, like that's the goal, right? And we, trust me, we know how nerve-wracking that can be. And we just hope none of us were too tough on you. We try our best to be, like, let you all know that you guys were awesome. And so just keep doing that, keep stretching, keep listening. Like you said, the overall messages y'all were like applying them. One of my favorite things that one of our people said, I think you had mentioned that, someone else said it too, was that it's actually also hard to watch people be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Mark actually mentioned the restroom. He's like, it was hard watching guys be Wendy. You know what I mean? So I want to encourage the men in this group, and me included, because I have trouble with that in my acting. With my teacher telling me, like, you gotta get more vulnerable. You gotta get more open. You wanna put more roles, you gotta get more vulnerable. So now I'm not really trying to be like some man versus girl thing, but I know the men. I know I grew up a man, we were men. So man, vulnerability will get you where you need to go. Being open, being human. We're all human in the end. We're all human. And so we gotta connect on a human level. And I love that. And my teams, when I'm hearing all the teams, we're not pushing back on being human. Like you all jumped in, you guys listened to the notes, you tried. But yeah, if you failed, you failed forward, you know, and we embraced the sucking in our group too. So I love that you guys all took the messages. You know, that's why we got 2% better. And man, just like, yeah, man, good job, way to go, y'all are dope.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's time for you guys to reciprocate. We shared our hearts. Let's hear from you guys. What did you get from today? What are some takeaways that you made, either about, you know, what kind of skills that you're able to apply to your work life, but also how did you change personally? Maybe what kind of self-discoveries have you made about yourself and about the way you interact with people and communicate with people? Who's got a takeaway? What did you learn from today?
Another act of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
So one of the big takeaways that I had was, and I mentioned this in our group, when you watched people beat John and Wendy, it was like a light switch watching people's connection turn off and on when they were looking up and actually making that eye contact. So taking that into your customer interactions and understanding that that's gonna be super visible, it's gonna be super obvious to you and to your customer, and be very aware of that as you go into customer interactions and make those connections, because we sell to humans.
Yes, being present, making eye contact, absolutely. So now you're able to take in fully what the other person across the table from you is talking about and how they're feeling, right? Love that. Who else?
That was Team C, by the way.
Now it's a competition.
One from Team B. So one of the things that I got early on in the session where we were doing the thing where you didn't know, was the cold script, I think it was called. So you didn't know what the other person was going to say and have to feed off of that. We do a lot in our jobs where we're preparing for meetings, we get all of these things, we do a lot of work to be ready, and so in those moments we couldn't be ready. You had to listen to what was coming to you and then respond to that, and so there's a balance that we need to find of how much do you prepare so that you can listen and respond to them, but then it might be okay to say, that's a great thing you just said, I maybe need to think about that a little more, and just connecting that way.
Love that, taking time, right? Because I think a lot of us, when we first started with these scripts today, we were rushing. We want to get to the end. That's what a lot of my guys were saying initially. It was like, I noticed the difference between the first take and the second take. The first take, I just want to get to the end. And then you told me to slow down. You told me to really take in what the other person's giving me. And that made all the difference. So yes, taking your time. Love that.
Who else? What group were you in? All right.
The best one to see. I think personally for myself, it's not being afraid to fail. Because fail is kind of a big word to me, where it's like, it's very heavy. We all have metrics and everything that we need to meet. But if you get something out of it and you learn from it and you kind of move on from that, I think it's very powerful and we saw a lot of that within our group, and yeah, I still think we're the best group.
Yes, absolutely. That's something that was mentioned in the last AMCOR conference, is that 70% of learning is experiential learning, right? Throwing yourself in the mix, trying things. And if you fail, so what? You can grow from it, right? And so it's embracing the failure, embrace the suck, right? So, love that.
I also think that just the definition of fail is something to consider in terms of who's putting that word on that, you know, who's setting the threshold for what that looks like, because there was no failing today. This was all exploring and finding new parts of ourselves and listening to another and giving to another person, and there's absolutely all winning in that for me.
One thing that we mentioned in our group when we were reflecting was how, like, you're multitasking. I'm sure all of our instructors were telling you to make sure you're bridging, and you're also reading, and you're also making eye contact. And we all found it, you know, really difficult and out of our comfort zones, but I think that relates a lot to what we do in our everyday lives. We're all multitasking, trying to do a million things. You're trying to, you know, respond to your customers and work internally and juggle your emails. And what I noticed was you're not going to be perfect, so this kind of just ties off of that, maybe about failures. But as long as you're reflecting and trying to get better and improve on the next conversation and the next, you know, we all improved in our acting today as we went back, reflected, and tried to implement something new. So as long as you're doing that in your everyday, I think that also applies to what we do here at AMCOR.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. Try to be that 1% better every time, right? Love that. Anyone else?
I'll expand on what Veronica said. I mean, I think that's pointed because to have good dialogue, you have to be fully present. And in some of the exercises, that was really obvious. If you were concentrating on the next line, you would miss the emotion from the person before. So I think that was a really, really good observation. Who else? Who's got something?
We heard from B and C teams. How about A, D, and E? Come on, step up, guys, step up. A
team. Where's this A team? I need to hear. Oh, hey, there we go.
All right, D and E.
Okay.
I'll represent Team E. So one thing that I think our group, we talked a lot about the debrief that we really took away was the listening, right? And making sure that we are listening with our ears, but we're also understanding the emotions that are coming and truly understanding the place that other people are coming from, hearing their words and not just solution solving right away or going to a meeting and saying, these are my 3 objectives, right? If you hear the words that they're saying, you can be a lot more effective in these conversations going forward.
Yeah, it makes listening, not just hearing, makes it more dynamic, right? So you know, okay, I'm just gonna let you talk and then I'm tell you how to fix it. It's not, if you're listening, as we're talking about our group, if you're listening, it's dynamic, it ebbs and it flows, and you can find a way to it. One thing I told my group was, which is what the head of our school, Nancy, told me was, nobody cares what you know until they know you care. And the more you put that in your life, the more you can start finding a way to connect with people. So do we have D team yet? No? So,
another B here. I just want to say, I came in thinking, you guys kicked off like embrace the suckiness, but I was actually really impressed like with our group, like shocked at some of your coworkers and seeing how they embraced some of these roles. Like Wendy embracing Wendy, sassy Wendy dropping some F-bombs, and Alex and Nichols, the way they bantered off each other, and seeing like Gary and Ashley like really worked well with each other. I was like, maybe the experts thought like this isn't good acting, but I thought it was.
Great, because it was vulnerable and real and lots of listening happening.
Any others?
We'll do a D.
All right.
D, step it up.
Finally, the T's.
Finally, D's. One comment that we talked about at the end and to bring home here was that we were talking about these interactions and reading the room and listening to customers, but also internally as we're working with other people, right? So these are skills throughout our lives and our work life that we can definitely use, but remember that internally, these are really helpful tools as well to use.
I feel like Phil Dunny.
No, I think into the taking time for me is super important to make sure I believe in what I'm gonna, the message I'm gonna deliver. Because if you're authentic, it's gonna sink. They're gonna receive. So to me, that's key.
Authenticity for sure. Authenticity. More people can sense fake.
Group A.
Group E.
Did you pay them, B?
I was going to say it's the power of a single word. During our John and Wendy exercise, Lexi finished with one word, when your dad dies, and I didn't look at my script, I was just making eye contact, and that changed completely my perception, and I think about how much time we put into, I'm going to construct this paragraph of words to get my point across, and you don't need that. Sometimes it's one word and the way you express it that can drive home a message.
What's the word? Dies.
Yeah.
What's the way? Exactly.
On that exercise, one thing that really stuck with me was it was the same dialogue again and again and again, but how different all of the conversations felt, but depending on who was delivering and who was playing which part. And to me, that really resonated in just general conversations that you have, how different that can look depending on how your inflection is, your mood, your preparation. So to me, that was a really fun exercise.
And that actually was You Are Enough in a nutshell. Like, you got to witness that live. We had, what, 18 million people reading the same 2 lines, right? Or the same 2 parts, right? But no one in the room read it exactly the same. Because you welcomed yourself out today. You allowed yourself to show who you are and the truth of who you are and the sum of your life experiences and your personality traits and everything. And so the more you can do that, have honest, open communication with your clientele, with your coworkers, the more you can be authentic and genuine, the more you can show who you truly are. And that who you truly are is special. But the problem is sometimes we try to fall into this cookie cutter thing, follow the set speech, the set pitch, the set whatever, but we don't let our heart out. We don't let ourselves express genuinely and honestly. And so I hope, one takeaway for you guys is to really be yourself, your true self, and let it shine.
To tag on that, exactly what you say, at least in each group, in each room, I felt like pretty much like it was a safe space for all of you. You created a safe, not us, you created a safe space for each other in the small group. So hopefully through AMCOR, you guys have the liquid division, now you guys have the pharma division. Hopefully you guys are creating a safe space and saying, you know what, now we're in the same place. So let's create a safe space to be each other, to be vulnerable, to be, connected, to listen and be able to be ourselves. Because nobody wants to go to work when they have to be someone else. That's how you get turnover in a corporation, right? Where you're not heard, you're not felt, you're not listened, you're not seen. Now you guys are creating a safe space to have all those things be positive, and that's what we're talking about in our group. Like, you guys are doing that. You guys are making a change to the corporate world, and then hopefully you guys continue it.
Well, it was really good. Really appreciate you guys having your program here. I think just to let you guys in on a little secret, we weren't trying to train you to be actors today. We weren't. This whole thing was about communication. And what I'm really feeling good about is the feedback that you guys have given in this session is just driving home that point. These elements that we practiced today, they were all elements that are really important in communicating. And if you learn something about yourself, you learn something that you can take to those conversations with customers, recognizing and double down on them, how important it is to really connect what your audience, what your counterpart in that conversation is trying to convey is pivotal. It's paramount to what we're trying to do. So with that, I don't know if you got anything else, Robert,
No,
but
that's it.
well done.
Thank you so
Double round of
much.
applause.